Hello, everybody. Welcome. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a significant amount of head bath. I hope you're all just having a good life. Tell me, cats. How are you? Are you doing well? Have you been good kitties? Have you been good kittens? Why do I have an angry face? What? Oh my gosh. Don't use VC face, kids. It's a trap. But how are you guys? Today we're going to continue on with our life, and we're going to be finishing up the side stories for step 1. I really needed a starting Sue stream, but I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut the music off here and open up the game. Oh man, it is getting hot in here. Alright. Now we're actually gonna break the game open. Will the game open for me? What do you mean? Thank you. Let's make me. Because I am itty bitty. I'm only 5'3". I am 5 feet 4 inches, 161 centimeters. Ah, my tongue! 161 centimeters. That's how tall I am. Okay, so let's continue. So last time we did shopping in Sandcastle. So what's left to do now is growing up, long day, and fireflies. So I think I'm going to start with grown up, I guess. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad has dropped him off earlier, and your mom had left the two of you along with Lizzie to play amongst yourself. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient, waiting for her golf class that morning. Class that evening, sorry. Bah, I cannot read! The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt like it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animal. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes and her smile spread across her face. Having an idea? Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy.
Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyway. They're always inside telling everybody they're too busy to play.
Why? Duh.
I said why. It'll be fun. Duh.
What do they do inside that we don't? What do they do inside that we don't? Besides use the phone a lot. Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove.
Salem, what do you think? What do you want to do? I want a color.
That's honestly what I want right now. I just want a coloring book. Oh, said it. That doesn't sound like fun. I bet we can come up with something else. I don't know. I want to. Let me see. I bet we can come up with something else. But that's what I'm going to do. And it's not as fun when I play pretend adults by myself. You do that a lot?
What's it to you?
God. Lizzie, I forgot that throughout the story, Lizzie has a bit of a mouth. Looking at Lizzie, it seemed Cove felt he couldn't understand where she was coming from and he sighed. Do you really not want to play, Salem? It was clear he wanted some way out, but still felt guilty about it. Sorry, but it sounds like, okay, I'll stay. You kept hesitating. I'm just gonna say, You kept hesitating. You looked down at your hand, still unsure. Apparently tired of waiting for you to make up your mind. Lizzie sighed.
Fine, go play over there, Salem.
You flinched from her raised voice. It definitely wouldn't be fun to join now. Me and Cove can do it ourselves.
It's decided.
You looked ahead blankly.
Yes.
Now go on.
Nodding goodbye to the two of them, you trailed off to find something else to do. Like he promised, Cove stayed put with Lizzie for the next couple of hours while you watched TV, played Godzilla, read a book, built a fort. Why isn't there an option to color? You know, we're building a freaking fort then! You hear them talking as you race to your room to take the pillows and blankets from your bed. When you went downstairs, you also took a couple of cushions from the sofa and found a spare blanket in the hallway cupboard. The dining room was the perfect place for building a fort. When you pulled out the chairs and covered them with blankets, you had plenty of room beneath the table to do whatever you wanted. You just gathered the pillows inside the fort to make it more comfortable. When you heard Lizzie and Cove's voices again, and this time they were much louder. Curious about what was happening, you craned your neck to hear them better. At first, you mostly only picked up on Lizzie's high-pitched shouting, giving orders, telling Cove what to do, yelling about sports and the Olympics. That was pretty typical for Lizzie, so there was nothing new there. Can I stay out of this entirely? Because I do not want any part of this fight. I really don't. But then you started hearing Cove more and more as time went on. It sounded like they weren't having a very good time. Oh no, I'm staying put. I'm staying out of this. You decided to stay where you were. It wasn't really your problem when you already stopped playing with them. You're having a good enough time on your own. Decision made, at least with yourself. You turned your attention back to the pillow fort you decided to focus on instead. The afternoon passed normally for you, and as the sun sank lower in the sky outside, the heat from the day seemed to cool it off too. You enjoy any time on your own? You wish you had someone to play with? You didn't mind either way if you're alone or not. I'm gonna say you didn't mind either way if you were alone or not. You were good at finding ways to entertain yourself, and if anyone wanted to join with you, you're happy with that too. Suddenly, things erupted for real on the other side of the living room, and this time you couldn't ignore it. I'm going home!
Good! You're terrible!
Oh lord, kids! Why can't you be nice? Tears running down his face, Cove dashed out the front door, slamming it behind him so hard the wood rattled. Mom walked in as soon as Cove ran away. Maybe she heard the door slam. Lizzie?
Salem? Where's our guest?
From the other side of the room, you weren't really in a position to say anything. Still sulking, Lizzie stood up and dusted herself off.
He went home.
Already?
He was busy. Isn't it time for us to get going already? I don't want to be late.
Alright, we better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. Nolani! Where did you leave the car keys? Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice, Lizzie was quieter than usual. Huh. She was usually the first one to request music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say a thing. Your parents noticed she wasn't in a mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you'd like to listen to. You picked your favorite song. It always made the car ride more fun. You chose the soundtrack to a cool movie you saw a couple months ago. You chose a song you knew Lizzie liked. Maybe that would cheer her up. You know what? Let's try to make our big sister happy. You're happy to see it brighten her right away. She started singing along with you. Soon enough, her bad mood was just a thing of the past. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with the other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in a house all day, and you stretched out your legs to the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to a restaurant you had all begun going to ever since you could remember. Thinking about it some more, you had no idea what Lizzie and Cove had really been up to, but you could kind of tell that all this helped Lizzie. You were confident that the next time they saw each other, everything would be like normal. Okay. That was short. Let's do long day. It was another scorching summer day. The kind where no sooner you had finished one cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Everyone else had something on, So that afternoon was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cover had arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. It made you feel pleased, frustrated, nothing really. I'm just gonna say please. You might not be in double digits like your sister, but he was only 7. Oh, he's 7. Why was I thinking he was 6? Well, I guess he's a year younger than us. Being the oldest and getting to be the leader was a nice change of pace. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet, like a popsicle, ice cream, and ice cream sandwich. Ice cream cone! Come on now. Nothing beats a classic creamy scoop of ice cream on a day like this. Now I really want ice cream. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look. Your moms didn't keep sweets in the house. Outside, there were plenty of places where such goodies could be obtained, but there were shops and demanded payment in exchange for their product. You asked Shiloh. You voiced your predicament out loud. I'm just gonna say you sighed. As much as you really wanted that treat, it wasn't going to happen.
What's wrong? I want an ice cream cone.
Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up.
That sounds good.
We don't have any here, and I don't have any money.
Oh, let me check if I have any.
Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins plus one stray button. You set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. Just over $1, you announced this to Shiloh. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he had been watching you expectantly. It's not enough.
We'll need to find some more. Okay.
Oh, Shiloh's adorable. The two of you lifted your couch cushions. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands deep crevices in the sofa under the furniture, and scorched the back of the drawers. Most of what you found was useless or gross. Bent paper clips, fully whiffs of dust or sandy crumbs. But every so often one of you would strike silver or bronze and add it into the growing pile of coins. This does sound like a kid thing to do. Your mind wandered to the $20 bill tucked away in your room. It was enough, and you and Charlotte to get whatever you wanted and more, but you didn't take it out. That was too special to hand over so freely. Besides, Shiloh would be curious about where it came from and might even mention your wealth to Lizzie. The exchange had been a secret. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pulling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins once again.
$2, $50.53, and 2 buttons.
You didn't know when the sun bucket had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your success to halt. You were too pleased with with your successful haul to throw it out.
That enough?
You figured he knew the answer, but you appreciated him recognizing your authority on financial and ice cream matters. You straightened up before making your pronouncement.
Yeah, we've got enough.
You now afforded something at the shop. Just one thing, but that was infinitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands.
Yay!
Baby Shiloh! I just want to spread your little baby cake. The two of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar buoyed you on your destination, where breathless but the promise of sugar, there we go, buoyed you onto your destination, where breathless but happy, you stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who wanted to contribute the funds to get the treat. He seemed to notice your pause.
Aren't you getting an ice cream cone?
Shiloh asked, as though he was entirely separate from the decision, rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. Do you mind? Shiloh cocked his head to the side.
It was your idea. You should choose.
Went ahead and got what you originally wanted. Are you sure that's okay? You tried to get something you both wanted anyway. You know what? Let's get something we both want. Because Shiloh's been such a good boy. Okay? Shiloh's a good boy and he deserves head fat. It wasn't fair for you to be the only one to decide when he'd been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack.
What would you like? What would you like? All of them! They're all so good!
You pressed further.
Well, what do you really like? Popsicles or ice cream? Which is your favorite? It's so hard to pick. I don't know.
Frustrated, you cut to the heart of the matter.
You want me to choose? Yeah!
And that was that. You got the dessert you wanted originally, and hope Shiloh would actually like it too. Finally, the reward for your hard work was in your hands. You lapped at the ice cream cone. The sweetness pricked you up. You held it out to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head.
We can finish it.
You didn't want any? After everything he did to help get it? That was weird. Let's try to include Shiloh. We should. Even if Shiloh said it was okay, every story you'd see on TV or read in a book said that sharing was caring. You stood your ground even as the treat started to trickle dangerously towards your finger.
It's only fair that you have some. We both bought it. But you want it more than I do, and getting to play was a lot of fun already. So you're gonna have it. Have it, that's more fair.
Yeah, I held it out to him.
I want you to have some even more than I want to finish it. So eat your part.
Oh, wait. Relenting, Shiloh took the treat and he gave it a taste. His eyes lit up.
Thank you.
It's really good. Thank you.
He's such a bean! This little boy is such a bean, and I want to just give him head fat. You smiled, pleased with your good idea.
You picked the best one.
Did he mean that? Shiloh was always nice no matter what happened. Even if he hated it, you knew he would say so. Maybe he thought it was gross, and that's the real reason why he didn't want to take some. You had no idea. You studied him as he ate a little more. He had every appearance of enjoying himself. Still weird. The two of you began to head back home as he ate. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt, or was too afraid to. Figured it was his problem and didn't care. Are you scared of me? That was kind of sad.
Are we friends?
Shiloh opened his eyes wide, seemingly caught off guard by the blunt question.
Yeah, I think so.
He says that, but friends should be able to talk with each other without being scared. If Shiloh wouldn't do that, were you even really friends at all? He rubbed his hands together nervously at your non-reaction.
I'm sorry.
You weren't sure how sorry he could be without knowing what he's even apologizing for, but you shook your head.
You didn't do anything.
It was true. Shiloh hadn't done something mean. He'd gone out of his way to make you happy. That didn't seem like it should be a bad thing, yet it bothered you.
It's just, I just don't know if you like me. It's like,
Excuse me.
it's like it doesn't matter what I do. You're gonna act the same. I could be anyone and you wouldn't care. No, I like you. I really, really like you, Salem. I want to be friends. Okay.
You smiled hesitantly at him, and his fidgeting ceased. Even though you weren't sure if you believed him, this was only making things worse. You decided that maybe there were all types of friends. If Shiloh wasn't able to do things differently, this would have to be alright. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a late. Excuse me. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times, and there have been confusing ones. You were positive of one thing at least. The treat was delicious, and that was nice. The sun was low on the horizon as you returned to your neighborhood. There you spotted two very familiar family figures up ahead. Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them just as you saw the tears on Cove's face. You walked straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Once there, you defended Cove, took him out to take a joke, accused Lizzie of causing trouble. Do I want to know what happened here? Let's just ask what happened. Without a time machine, the only way you were going to find out is by asking the witness. Lizzie might have done something, but she could have been wrong in the wrong. Oh, excuse me. Lizzie might have done something, but she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even come to Cove's aid. Wanted to hear the story.
Cove, what happened? Cove, what happened?
Salem.
I got yelled at.
Lizzie, what did you do? He took a deep, steadying breath.
Some crap hurt.
parents got mad at me.
I'm sorry.
Lucy jerked her head in that direction of a nearby house. Your heart sunk. You knew exactly what had happened. Every year, the same mean old couple rented the condo for the summer. You, Lucy, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have.
They're like that with everyone.
Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them, but the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. Yeah, Lizzie said. Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction.
I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do?
No, I'm just gonna stay away. Oh my gosh. Poor babies.
Or you could teach them a lesson.
There was a devilish glint in her eye. What?
You do ding dong ditch them. Go ring a doorbell and run. It'll be great because they're so slow. They'll never catch you.
God. Oh God. Lizzie's great.
That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
Damn, Lizzie. Okay. Okay, sis. Cove glare, but didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you.
You're not a chicken, are you?
You'd rather just avoid them? Oh. You know what? I thought they deserved worse! You scrunched up your nose in disgust and you shook your head. As pranks go, it was pretty weak. They would answer the door to find nothing there, so what? It would be sort of annoying, but they seemed like the kind of people that would be irritated about anything. If they were going to open a door, there should be something bad there.
I would be letting them off too easy.
You felt the three pair of eyes staring at you, but you were studying your surroundings thoughtfully. There wasn't much around they might dislike. Inspiration came crawling towards you in the form of a roly-poly bug. Carefully, you lowered your hand and let it clamber onto your palm. That should do it. You never met an adult who appreciated bugs. What is that cat doing? Oh, hi baby. He's just being a good boy.
Let's ding dong ditch and bug them.
Yeah.
We'll go hide. Run as soon as you hit the bell. Good luck.
Lizzie and Shiloh ran across the road to take shelter in the bushes. Even once they settled down, you can make out two child-sized shapes staring from between the leaves. You knew where to look for them, though, and you told yourself that the grouchy old people wouldn't stop it. Cove sighed, his gaze flicking to the house and then back to you. Don't get caught.
As if they could keep up.
Yum. You went to join Lizzie and Shiloh in their hideaway. The weight of the three pairs of eyes on your back was heavier than anything you'd carried before as you approached the door. You stare down at the little bug still wriggling in your closed hand and carefully place it on the ground where it could be seen, but off enough to the side it wouldn't be stepped on. Moon Ghost! Hello! Welcome! How are you? You slapped the buzzer and ran. Blood thumped against your eardrums with every step. Did you make it in time? Approaching the hiding spot, you knew that there wasn't time to go around the bushes as the others had done. You took a shortcut, leaping over them. Or to be more accurate, crashing into the tops of the bushes and then falling over to the other side. Judging from the squeak, it was Shiloh who cushioned your fall. Getting ready for work? Alright, man. I hope you have a good day. Lizzie put her finger to her lips and nodded at the house. You disentangled your limbs from Shiloh and spun around to see the old man framed in the doorway, peering back and forth suspiciously. You covered your mouth with your hand, but it wasn't enough. To stifle your giggle. Maybe he spotted one of you, or maybe it was the leaves you displaced while jumping, but he locked eyes with the bush and stormed over in your direction. Shiloh gasped and looked at Lizzie.
Run!
Your sister did not hesitate to take her own advice. Neither did you and Shiloh. Cove was just the one fully operational. Cove with just one fully operational arm took longer to get to his feet, but still caught up to Shiloh with ease. You made your escape. You thought to yourself that he didn't even notice the bug. The old man's holler propelled you from the street to the sanctity of the hill. Once you were safe, you did notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You plopped down to the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead, in the end was already lacing in the ground. Four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of cool grass against your skin. This is how you know Kitten can't English for shit. Cool gas. Kitten, what is wrong with you?
Hey, Cove!
What did it say?
I told you they were mean grandparents around here.
Cove rolled his eyes and decided this wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his whole body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting to Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd second fiddle to Shiloh once Lizzie came around. It was always like that. And you were fine with that. It's always annoying. I'm gonna say you still felt a little sad after how much time you spent together. You had been hoping that the two of you might have become closer. But yeah, let it go. He was happy where he was. You closed your eyes, laid on your side, and relaxed. Some time passed with you like that. It felt good to take a real break. You moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw, and the blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw. You curled under on the cold rainy day days, he wondered if the clouds would be as soft. They lazily floated on by, splitting from each other, merging and morphing into new shapes. You saw a dolphin, you saw a car, you saw an alpaca, you saw a smiley face, you saw a cloud shape. Why am I tempted to click on alpaca? I feel compelled to click on alpaca for some reason. You saw a fluffy alpaca in the sky. You nudged that cove and pointed at it.
Can you see the alpaca?
Cove joined you in gazing skywards.
Whoa.
It looks more like a llama.
Hey!
He chuckled at your reaction. All the sun's light faded from the sky, and the moon rose higher. Lucy got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from her bare legs, and surveyed her surroundings. The ocean, visible from the crest of the hill, beckoned with every sweep of the tide.
Let's go to the beach!
There was no argument from the other two. Shiloh was still Shiloh. And Cove would never say no to going to the shore. He was the child of the sea. You... I already knew the others wanted, objected to the plan, were too tired to argue. Wanted to go there too. You know what? Why not? Wanted to go there too. So you eagerly joined the others in the descending down the hill to the water. You stepped onto the sand for the second time that day, but it felt different at night. The beach was nearly quiet at this hour. Abandoned sack castles and footsteps in the sand, too big to belong to any of you. Were the only indication how busy it had been only hours earlier. The four of you kicked your shoes off and removed your socks and walked along the water's edge. The waves tickled to your feet.
I wonder what would happen if you tried to take a bath in the ocean with shampoo and everything.
Fish pee and poo in the ocean. Probably not a very fun time. I am just saying. That would be bad for the fish. That too.
Jeez.
I didn't say anyone would do it. Jeez, you don't have to be so serious about everything. You're the one who asked what would happen. That is what would happen. It hurt the fishies.
Yeesh. Watching Cove and Lizzie is like putting two territorial cats in a room together. I like bubble baths at home. They're a lot of fun.
Me too. Bubble baths are luxurious.
Or luxurious. Luxurious? Luxurious? I don't fucking know. You never heard Lizzie use that word before.
Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'll turn the lights off and have candles. I'm gonna do that next time. Hey, when's your mom coming to pick you up anyway? Not for a while. Not for a while. She's busy.
What about your dad? How come you never talked about him? Nobody does.
Don't you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would somebody want to talk about something they never talk about.
You kept your eyes on the ground, watching your toes get swallowed by waves. Even if Shiloh never seemed upset when the topic came up, it made you feel awkward just for having both of your moms.
It's okay. I'm like Lizzie and Salem. I don't have a dad. But I don't have two moms. I just have one. She's really great.
Oh, sorry. I only have one too. My mom isn't here. She's back home. It's just my dad with me.
Sorry.
I never had a dad or anything. So I don't feel bad. It's really sad that your mom is gone.
Cove nodded. Well, Shiloh's mom getting together with Cove's dad. Why does that sound like something I would do awkwardly? You didn't have anything comforting to say to that, so you tried to lighten the mood instead.
Hey, since both of you only have one parent, Cove's dad should marry Shiloh's mom. Then you two would be brothers.
Cove stopped abruptly, his face set hard.
No.
My dad isn't gonna do that. Shiloh tugged at the rim of his hat.
Neither is my mom. She doesn't want to marry anybody. I told you people this wasn't a good thing to talk about.
It seems your plan backfired and the mood soured even more. You didn't know what to do. The silence was broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water sought in the sand, splattering against your leg. Lizzie giggled, foot still outstretched from the kick. Cove joined in, striking the incoming waves to make a splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out of Cove's spray zone with a grin. You made a run for it? We're retaliating. Use your foot to smack the water pooling around you, sending an arc of sea foam flying back onto your sister. Revenge is a bitch, sis! You laughed as she sputtered some of the salt water having landed in her mouth. She spat it out.
Yuck!
Lizzie chased you, intent on revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking in turns to be the predator and the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Cove. Alliances were slightly forged and wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game in war. Shiloh's brief explanation was drowned out by the biggest splash jet caused by him falling face first onto the ground. That would have been enough even without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain as you hurried over to check on him. His hair was plastered on his head, and his soaked clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was dry, you couldn't see it. That was crazy! Are you okay?
Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over.
You dumbo.
Way to go, Shiloh, you dumbo.
You offered him some help, Bob. Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice and held her hand out to Shiloh too. He reached over and took Lee's. Slowly, he started to pull himself up from the ground. Then he slipped onto the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down just in time for another wave to hit. The water rolled over them.
Sorry.
What were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought they must be low, but there's no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose then pretend it was an accident, especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and whipped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up again as well, this time without incident. He looked like a drowned puppy, but that didn't stop Cove laughing at the two of them. It was time to call it a day. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake. Damp clouds may have weighed down some of the group, but your spirits were high. Your arms swung side to side as a cool breeze flowed past. Your moms were outside, chatting to Cove's death.
We're back!
Oh, man, I need a stretch. Your mom's face fell as they took in the state you were in, raging from messy to swift.
No.
Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. Wait, I'm gonna try to do this in mommy voice. Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought back half the beach with you. They certainly did. What's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh? What's Marigold gonna do when she comes back to get Shiloh? Is that how you want him to be for the long drive home? Cold and filthy? God. Mom, and mommy. Mom, and mommy. What? Listen. We can explain. It's exactly what it looks like, but listen. Just hear us out. Okay. Lucy's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Co's matted hair. You've been making memories. You've been making memories, Bucko? I'm glad you had a good time with your friends. Co used his slightly moist cast to push his dad off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed that had gotten wet. Now he was weary too. I think they could have fun. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and just had as much fun. That might be right. Kids, what can you do? Come on, Cove, let's get you cleaned up and dried off. We wouldn't have to have that cast be reset. We wouldn't want that cast to have to be reset. Cove winced at the thought.
Okay.
Sorry, someone tried to call me. That a boy. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cove onto him. That didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove protested being carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cliff. Night, Pauws fam. And Shiloh too.
Fine, fine.
Well, we'd better do what we can to fix you guys up too. Come on, everybody inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom.
Yes, Mom!
Ugh.
Yes, Mom! Okay, Lizzie's mom.
Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the mat this time. That won't do much good tonight. Sitting on an old beach towel, your mommy had waited in the hall until you were less sandy, and you weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for dinner there. It felt like an indoor picnic. Now I want a sandwich. I don't know what kind though, but I want a sandwich. It had been decided that Shiloh would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Mrs. Fields had come to collect him a little while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience seeing him without that hat for once. Lizzie, being much more stoked than you, got to go to the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath as she hoped. This was a no fun allowed cleanup session. At least that's what she claimed. Not much longer, and it would be your turn. When the bath was done, you'd have to go right to bed. After a day like this, though, you were glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. Alright, I'll be right back, cats. Give me a moment. I'm back. The last one is fireflies.
All right.
Oh crap, I gotta go to the bathroom. Hold on. I'm back. I forgot to make this transparent. Whoops.
Alright, we're going to catch fireflies!
At this blunt declaration for your sister, you looked from your macaroni and cheese for dinner. You looked from your macaroni and cheese dinner. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer, coming out on warm nights to dance through the sky. Tonight was particularly balmy. You knew that there were bound to be a ton of them. Oh, you are you? Flushed your feet around and play.
Yeah!
You rocked lightly side to side from your seat, already excited for your after-dinner activity. Catching fireflies was a great way to spend summer evening, and you could already envision the little lightning bugs drifting through the darted sky.
That's a great idea! Wow, that's a great idea, Lizzie! Can we, Mrs. Pauws?
Lizzie tapped his foot against the table excitedly, his face lighting up as he looked at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shiloh to be here, like always. His mom had to bring him bring him over really early in the morning before her job started. But normally, she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let your mom know she'd be late. You didn't hear why. Probably more work things. You thought maybe getting to hang out with Shiloh for longer is what made Lizzie want to keep running around outside. Staying at home and watching TV was never an option for her with guests over. That's why you were pretty sure she'd get your moms to agree. Well, it's already so dark out there. Lizzie gave Mom the best puppy dog eyes she could, slowly spooning mac and cheese into her mouth while you waited for their responses. Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day. Your parents exchanged a look, then Mom eventually sighed and nodded back.
Yes!
Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up in triumph, but waited until you finished chewing to say anything because you knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full. Fine. Just make sure to stay on the hill behind our house with the poppies, okay?
Duh, Mom. That's where most of them are.
The idea had only just been planned in your head, but already you could just picture them glowing lights spread out in front of you, like the fairies from bedroom stories Mommy read sometimes. Too quickly, it became a race to see who could finish their food first. No choking at the dinner table now! That's right. If someone died, we'd have to cancel the Firefly trip after all. Mommy said it like a joke, but you knew they were both telling you kids to slow down. Shiloh did immediately. When you glanced at Lizzie, you saw her still eating as faster than she should. Elizabeth! No one is gonna die. Sheesh. A knock on the door interrupted Mom before hello, Dad, how are you? A knock on the door interrupted Mom before she could no doubt scold your sister. I'll get it! Your big sister jumped out of her seat and ran over to the doorbell, pulling it open without even looking out the window to see who it is. You shifted in your seat to try to gain a glimpse of the unexpected guest.
Hi.
Good evening, Co. Your mommy had already walked to the door by the time you managed to see past Shiloh's fluffy hat. Co?
Help?
Why is he here? Had your parents invited him over? You certainly hadn't heard anything about it. You tried to catch Cove's eyes, but he was too busy staring at the ground in front of him. Going back to shovel a forkful of macaroni in your mouth, you kept one ear on the conversation. Then for a few seconds, Cove said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mommy with a face almost like he was considering turning around and leaving. My dad told me to drop this off, because I guess he borrowed it from you. Code took a familiar screwdriver from his large side pocket, eyes now draped to the floor. He left us back at home when we moved.
Great, thanks, bye!
Thank you. Here, why don't you come inside for a bit? Lizzie crossed her arms and lifted her chin. Cove shrugged and Mom stood up from the table too. I'll give your dad a call to let him know you got here all right. Cove shuffled inside, eyes remaining on the ground. Mommy closed the door behind him.
Hi, Cove.
Shiloh gave Cove a friendly smile while waving by holding his hands up and opening and closing his fingers. Cove nodded in response. So are you gonna watch the I am not gonna attempt to read that number, Pound Fox. Hi. How can I help you? Welcome to the chat. How are you? I'm gonna say, you could come outside with us if you want to. From the corner of your eyes, you can see Lizzie glaring at you for mentioning the excursion to You know what? I think I'd rather just hang out with my sister, so I was gonna say, you weren't sure what to say now. Is Cove coming with us to catch fireflies? Is Cove coming with us to catch fireflies too?
If he stays, I guess.
Lizzie didn't exactly look thrilled by the idea, and you wondered if she felt threatened that someone might catch more bugs than her, or maybe she didn't like his company.
Okay.
I want to see them. I've never caught one before. Too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved, and there must not have been anywhere he used to live.
We can't go until after dinner.
After she pointed this out, Lizzie walked back to the table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. Since this was very true, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. Cove stepped closer and eyed what was on the menu for your family's meal. Have you eaten yet? Yeah, my dad and I ate earlier.
What did you have?
Eggs. The clipped one-word answers seemed to discourage Shiloh from asking any more questions. His eyes slowly wandered back to the last scraps of food on his plate. Her phone call with Cove's dad must have ended because your mom came back into the room.
Okay.
Cove, your dad said you can stay for a little while if you'd like, but he's going to come get you before it gets too much later. Sure.
Fun.
Oh, fun. This will be so nice. As you polished off the meal, you hoped it would be too. Three of you all finished eating shortly after, and Lizzie led the way outside. Remember, don't stray too far.
It's fine, Mom.
Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie, he was nearly stepping on her heels. Cove hesitated at the door.
Come on, let's go.
After a moment, he did.
Bye.
Bye, children. The two of you were good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shiloh by the time you walked outside. You pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get farther and farther away.
You're so slow, Salem. We don't have all night.
You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you. but paused when you saw Cove still walking at a relaxed pace. Oh, I'm just gonna run off. You needed a head start if you were going to catch more fireflies than Lizzie tonight. With your shoes slapping against the pavement beneath you, you hurry to catch up with the others. If Cove wanted to join in with you all, he'd show up sooner or later. Excuse me. A grin broke across your face as you raced up the hill to join Lizzie and Shiloh, admiring the fireflies that bobbed around like buoys in a wave in the delicate moonlight. There's barely any wind, which made it perfect for the little lightning bug to be out exploring the big wide world.
Where's Cove? It's coming!
You pointed behind. Sure enough, after a second, Cove rounded the corner, still not in any sort of rush. Shiloh took a moment to come over and welcome the both of you to the hill.
Hi guys! It's really great out, huh? See how many there are?
Yeah. A firefly danced through the air, landing on Cove's sea green head. Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You and Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. While he looked on, you shooed the book away. I'm saying you and Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. Covering your mouth with your hand, the sound escaped you, and Cove looked at you in confusion. What? You gestured to his head, and he reached up, making the firefly dart away. Cove jumped, then followed after the glow.
Oh look! Lizzie has one! That's amazing!
Shiloh ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or backpack along the way. You hummed as the group divided and conquered, shifting your gaze to the dozens of other fireflies sailing around. The game was on. You had a bandage on your thumb, you can try to be cautious of that. You had a bandage on your palm, you try to be cautious of that. You had 2 bandages on your hand, and you try to be cautious of that. You were so good at not getting cuts. Knowing me, I probably would have scratched something. Listen. Back when I was a small, tiny little kitten. I still am a small, tiny little kitten, but you know what I mean. Back when I was really, really young, I used to get cuts on my legs, arms, hands, you name it, all the time. I'm gonna say I had a bandage on your palm and try to be cautious of that. Spotting one close, you approached it with an assassin-like stealth, crouching down to make yourself seem like less of a threat. Why am I reading this so menacingly? Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you crept towards it, arms stretched out. You closed your hand around the little glowing orb, careful not to crush it. The firefly landed on your palm, almost docile, and you stared down at your prize in delight. Its tiny legs tickled your skin, and you giggled at the sensation. Cove kept up with his own target, but when he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his efforts to clap his hands around the firefly. Cove watched it vanish into thin air with a dissatisfied expression on his face. You made a joke about what happened. I'm not gonna be mean about it, I'm just gonna say you did your own thing. Letting Cove continue his hand, you slowly brought your hands closer to your face, studying the little creature in the center of your palm.
Hello, little bug!
The firefly didn't say hello back, so you hadn't expected it to. Oh, let's play some more. With a renewed vigor, you ran out into the hill. You're not sure how much time passed while you were in the thick of it. All you could focus on was the adventure at hand. No critter escaped from your grasp. First, you tried to keep a tally of how many you had caught, but once the number grew higher than 10, you had no more fingers to count with. You were having the time of your life, racing up and down the hill with the crash of the ocean and the sound of everyone's laughter echoing in the background. Eventually, the fireflies began to thin out, and your energy started to lapse. You decided it was time to call off the hunt.
Come on!
Salem, Cove! Get up here! We're gonna have a race!
The shouting caught you off guard. It had been quite a while since you heard from Lizzie or Shiloh. You glanced over to see them both standing on top of the hill again, Lizzie beckoning to you with quick hand gestures. If she was like that, you knew it wasn't. If she was like that, you knew there wasn't much room for disagreement. Up the incline you went. From the corner of your eye, you saw Cove was coming as well. You didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might be intrigued by just the idea of a race.
Hi!
Cove!
Hi! Cove, you can't roll down... Cove, you can't roll down the hill. You could hurt your arm again. You'll be the referee for the rest of us.
As Lizzie pointed this out, Cove froze in place. Oh, it was that kind of race. He frowned down at his cast. That was the second time it got in the way tonight. What? What?
Yeah, you'll watch and see who gets to the bottom first. That's important. Got it?
I guess.
The cast was sturdy. If he was careful, he could have done it. Lizzie might have just been looking for a reason to make someone else the referee, but it was already decided. I'm gonna do something else. Oh no, we're racing. You got in position for the race. Satisfied with this, Lizzie moved to lay down. Satisfied with this, Lizzie moved to lay down, and Shiloh did the same. Cove stood slightly on the side to get a better vantage point. It seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duty seriously.
Countdown!
You quickly got into position as well, resting your side on the grass and tucking your arms close to your chest.
3, 2, 1, go!
The three of you took off, letting gravity do the work and rolling at high speed towards the bottom. You squeezed your eyes shut, at a delighted laugh leaving you, and consequently allowing a few blades of grass into your mouth. Oh, gross! You sputtered, reaching to wipe them away. It threw off your balance and sent you careering sideways.
Oof! Ah!
Everyone started too close to each other because the slight turn you made, then Shiloh and Lizzie collided into a heap. You tumbled down the last few feet in a pile. Shiloh's elbow was in your stomach, and you were pretty sure Lizzie's hair was in your mouth. But you had survived. Perhaps it wouldn't have been safe for Cove after all. You could hear him laughing in the distance. When you opened your eyes, you saw the starry sky above, and Cove still on top of the hill, staring down at the three of you with an amused look on his face. Hey, cool crash! I think Shiloh was the first one at the bottom.
That didn't count. We need a redo.
So competitive.
Kids, it's time to come in. No!
You sighed, not knowing if it was from the contentment or exasperation, and you closed your eyes again. It had gotten late, and it was beginning to feel just a bit chilly as you made your way out of the hill. But the cold in the air hadn't dampened anyone's spirit. The four of you walked back home together, side by side, down your neighborhood street, discussing the evening, with each person trying to prove that they were the one who caught the most fireflies. You knew that whoever really did catch the most didn't matter much. You knew that whoever really did catch the most fireflies didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was that you all had a good time, which, judging by the smiles on everyone's faces, you did. Aww. Wholesome! And then summer ended. I'll never get tired of that view. You step beside your mom's and Lizzie as the four of you watch the sun dip into the ocean somewhere far, far away. You like to imagine it cooling off in the water, resting itself before getting ready to shine brightly again tomorrow. That was a fun day. I didn't think they had magicians on the shopping street now. Neither did I. Oh no! Oh no, we are so dull. Let's get out more.
Didn't do real magic, Mom.
How do you figure that one out?
Duh.
'Cause I know! That's not what real magic looks like.
No, Lizzie dear, there's all kinds of magic in this world. Mommy gave a suspicious look. Didn't dispute the claim. Well, we can't sit here all night. Time to hurry home and get cooking. Who's helping with dinner? Lizzie immediately let out a groan. Mom, summer's almost over! The protest was obvious. You could practically see school on the horizon. You certainly didn't want to spend your last bits of freedom cooking dinner. You could do that any other day. Funny press puppy dog guys. Lizzie might not want to, but you planned on going home. Please, just a little. I'll just say. Honest. Lizzie might not want to, but you planned on going home. Mom looked down at Lizzie with a sigh as she continued pleading. We'll help with dinner tomorrow.
Then we'll have homework and reading to do. We can't do work now, too.
Lizzie made her case and then stomped her foot again onto the ground. Well...
No.
Oh, come on, Pam. I can help you with dinner. Mommy leaned in for a hug, and you knew Lizzie was very close to victory.
Okay.
All right. But as soon as dinner's ready, you lot are coming inside. Understood?
Yes, Mom! So much to do, so little time. Maybe I should get the seashell bracelet, tines and trinkets. Ooh, or maybe at the playground. Or the fireflies would probably be coming out, right?
I'm just gonna say I'm going home.
Oh, bye! Bye, Lizzie!
You shut the door behind you, shivering lightly as you adjusted to the more pleasant temperature inside. Welcome home.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, Salem, will you set the table? You are on your way to your room, and you stare longingly at the direction as you consider the question. Mom hadn't said you had to help. why not? I'm just gonna say, okay. Even though you had hoped to play the fond look of your mom's made it worthwhile. After you finished setting up the plates, you stayed in the kitchen chatting with your parents. It seemed like now that summer was winding down, time was speeding by. Soon it was time to eat. Lizzie talked about the busy schedule she'd made for herself tomorrow, and you watched the window and thought about how much you're going to miss the long, fun-filled days of sun and play. That night, it was hard to sleep for some reason. You stared blankly at the bits and dust and stuff floating in the air. Summer would be over soon. School would be starting up again. Couldn't help but feel... I'm gonna say scared, glad. I'm gonna say baffled. Where had the time gone? It felt like summer had just started moments ago. Now it had to come to an end. Would the school year pass by just as quickly? Or would the days crawl at a snail's pace? You looked up at the dark ceiling, chewing at your lip. Eventually, you closed your eyes. Ready or not, he was right around the corner. And now it's time to move on to step 2. Step 2. How old are we? 13, I think? Well, I'm gonna change the front first. Okay, back. That's not the hairstyle I'm gonna go with, by the way. I'm just kind of playing around. Actually, that's kind of cute. I kind of like it. That's adorable, but that's not what I want to go with. Or maybe step 3, but not step 2. Oh, I kind of like the curled style. This one's also pretty freaking adorable. This one I kind of like, but why not? Oh no. I think that's pretty cute. Oh, that's adorable. That is absolutely adorable, and I kind of like it. I might go with that. We'll see. I like this one more, though, so I think this is what I'm gonna go with. The only thing I really want... The only thing I really want to change is the glass. I'm gonna go with rectangle glasses for step 2. Fun fact, I never had braces. I never needed them. I think this is fine. I'm just gonna say interest. I'm gonna say fond for step 2. Crush and love I am not going to do. Simply because we're going for Derek. I'm gonna customize this Garrett. I've never done hair one, so I kind of want to fool around with that. It looks so bizarre without glasses. Why am I feeling those? They only give you two they only give you 2 shirt options, but they give you 3 pants options. Oh, that's adorable. White wrist. He kind of looks like a surfer dude. Why do I feel like this just fits? I think I like the blue shirt. Let's go with jacket 1, because why not? It's a cute jacket. I'm just gonna say this is how you feel towards Derek in this step. It can be the same, but different from Cove. Okay. I'm just gonna say relax and rush. Or should I do nervous crush with Derek? I kind of want to do nervous and crush. No, let's do relax, because I've done nervous so many times in this game. I'd rather just do relaxed. August ended. Summer began. It was time to go back to school. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes. Still, there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. At school, he was alright, but kept his distance from the other kids. From what you saw anyway. Originally, he treated you like everyone else, passing by as if you didn't know each other. But as the years went on, the two of you acknowledged each other more and more. A friendship had started to grow. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized. You overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove got full custody. At first you were worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out what it meant. Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks of the year. Cove cried too, for different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again. Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked about it once. He said he didn't want to uproot Cove. He didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. You weren't sure how well it worked in changing Cove's thoughts on the town yet. It might have been part of the reason you and Cove ended up growing closer. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. Still, you worried about him. You could tell he wasn't completely happy. Maybe one day he could say out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal. Except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed, and suddenly you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest puffed out with pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did in gym and other athletic situations. Over the years, he began opening up more. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. And the only kid that came to visit your neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone. He and his mom moved back to the south because of her work, just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was unconsolable for weeks, but nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago. You learned that some heartbreaking things became less sad the further away they were, even if they had never gotten any better. That was sad in its own way. Things were different at home too. Still in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Aunt dyed her hair purple, wanting something new, and liked it so much she kept dyeing it. You remember calling her mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You were too old for that word. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname too, so he insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth. So you did. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground. in the shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent any time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Schwarz. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. What happened was his and Cove's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop into the area now and then. It seemed Mr. Schwarz was happy to let Derek tag along to his work. Derek had the time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed in small and big ways. You had to. As time went by, it was easy to settle into this new normal. And before you knew it, school was over and summer vacation had come again. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was as hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time sleeping in. God. I wish I did more during my summers when I was a kid. Instead, I just kind of stayed in all day and kind of avoided everyone. That was the kind of kid I was. I'm gonna say, wide awake, about to head out and enjoy your time off. You made sure to slather in a generous amount of sunscreen so you didn't get burned. You were looking in the mirror, studying your clothes you threw on, when your bedroom door opened without warning. In the reflection, you saw Elizabeth raise an eyebrow. Have you been staring at yourself this whole morning? Have you? Get out! Get out of my room! Go away! She ignored that, crossing her arms over her chest with a disgruntled expression. Clearly, she hadn't come in just to see you. Mom told me to tell you that your friend's at the door. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him. Say thanks or whatever.
Come on.
Come down already. You're right there. Elizabeth says nothing else and left, having done what she instructed of her. Now alone, you focus on the mirror again. Nah, we're tiny. There's a lot of real estate you were pretty sure you had trouble getting into reflection. Nah, we're not that. We're pretty small, but we're not that small. We're pretty short. You could relate to Derek and how it felt to be smaller than people thought you ought to be. Your shortness seemed even more drastic compared to Cove, who was usually tall. Or who was unusually tall, excuse me. Yeah. You were kind of self-conscious about it. Over it. I was very self-conscious about my height when I was 13. Not so much anymore. I kind of like being small. It's fun. You couldn't help but feel awkward with the body you had. Then you put the finishing touches to your outfit while rummaging the situation. Careless as they had been, Elizabeth's words piqued your curiosity. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to, so this worked in your favor. Your reflection grinned back at you, really looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, going down the stairs 2 steps at a time. Step 2. Second chance. You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She had a magazine in her hands, which she which she was pursuing over through. Morning, Mom! She looked up at your greeting, a smile instantly appearing on her face.
Thanks.
Good morning, Salem. Thanks for coming down. Ma's at the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go and thank him before he leaves? You nodded and made your way to the front of the house, just as she said. Mom was there making conversation. She must have heard you because she looked over her shoulder.
Oh.
Look, you finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. Ma reached forward and you knew she was about to pat your head. She was taller than average for an adult woman. So at your height, you're absolutely tiny in her eyes. Hey, listen. I've said this before. And I'll say it again. Head pats are a very powerful thing. You happily let her do it. That type of small affection exchange was nice. She placed the whole of her hand on top of your head for a brief second before lifting it back up. You're the last one down today, you know that. You know that. I'm just to say sorry about the wait. Oh, there's no need for that. What matters is that you're here now. With a small laugh, Moss stepped aside. Cove was just as you remembered. Exactly how you came to know him to be. Aw, so cute. I want to give him head pats for the Cove. He leaned uncomfortably to the side of your doorway as the longer strands of his hair idly drifted with the breeze. His features were pinched in embarrassment, and he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must be the much talked about gift. At first glance, you figured it must be a bouquet of flowers, but then you gave it a real look. No, instead, it was carefully cut fruit. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had to suppress a laugh at this, showing you couldn't imagine many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. That kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. I'll be right back, cats. Hold on a second. I went to go get cookies. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. Ko smiled slightly at the sight of you. This thing was how the Scooby Aaron, he was clearly embarrassed to be on the east. Hey, Salem. You earnestly grinned back. It wasn't weird at all, like it used to be when you were kids. This is a great idea. Try eating while reading cookies. I'm a genius. As time passed, the two of you started to enjoy each other's company. Now you are actually considered to be a good friend, not just someone you were forced to be around by your families. Hey, it's really nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. And you were certain that he meant that agreement. It was already shaping to be another long summer with plenty of time for the two of you to have fun together. I feel like I'm being a dumbass right now. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Tove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. And with that, the gift was accepted. I hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift. I think so anyway. He smiled earnestly. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. Dad spent a lot of time picking... Sorry, let me try this with that actual acting. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. I'm just gonna say, you were too cute sometimes. Salem! I'm sorry, I had to point it out. You're adorable. Shush. Look. Listen. Just because we're going with Ko's route this time around doesn't mean we can't tease them a little bit. Just thank my dad for all this, okay? Okay, I will, but you're still too cute. Haha, sure thing. Mr. Holden's behavior was really different from any neighbor you'd ever have. Though after 5 years, you were used to his antics, and you'd since made up your mind on what your option was. He was nice. He was sort of funny. He was pretty weird. You didn't like him. He was great. You know what? I'm gonna say he was great and handsome to boot because, listen. Have you seen Cove's daddy? Hot. Though there are some things people didn't like about Mr. Holden, he didn't mind them and liked him quite a bit. And whoops. And even if he was Ko's dad, you couldn't pretend like he wasn't a nice looking guy. That was good too. But it was something you had kept to yourself, because that's not something we want to tell our best friend. Like, bro, can you imagine this conversation with your best friend? Hey, I think your dad is hot. Dude, what the fuck? I don't know. That would be a very awkward conversation, I feel like. It'd be hilarious, don't get me wrong, but it'd be so awkward. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are! You shared a confused look with Cove. As one, both of you stepped through the door, the open door onto the neighborhood street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. Ah! Baby! Words cannot describe how much I love Derek. I'm sorry I'm being rude right now, but I really wanted cookies. I needed something to snack on, okay? This display's at the side of him. No. Derek was certainly a welcome guest in your neighborhood. It was a pleasant surprise whenever he showed up. Thank you! Derek, let me give you huggies! After stopping a couple of steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Then he looked up with a wide grin.
Hey.
Hey, guy and gal. I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. Should have figured you'd be at Salem's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or are you always just there? God, I love this kid so much. Derek laughed out at his own joke. He either didn't notice that it embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he was actually laughing at. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? Fruit. Lots and lots of fruit. You followed his gaze unsure, and then you realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. This? It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but it's made of fruit.
Nice.
Can I have some? No. I haven't even tried any yet. Derek cut out your words, not hiding his disappointment. Oh, God.
Ah, he's so cute.
Had to go for a bit, but I'm back now. Hi, Dad. Aww. Then he nodded his head as if to clear it. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I need to say something big. He paused, possibly for effect. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Cove was as surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through? Maybe they were cutting through. Nuh-uh. This kid was... Had to mute the mic because nobody would have wanted to hear that. Nuh-uh. This kid was all by himself just walking. Did you talk to him?
Nope.
Nope. I came to report the sighting right away. The kid had green hair, glasses, was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave. If I remember correctly, this is the kid we sucker punched the last playthrough. You blinked. Slowly, you looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove. When you first got here, anyway. It kinda does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well now that you say so. But what do you say? Let's go find Co's look-alike. We should all meet him. Derek. I play this game twice now. That is a horrible idea. Derek, no. Do not go with this plan. Abort mission. Sure. I'll do it. Sure. I want to see who this person is. Oh, no. Derek grinned, then pointed down the street the way he came. Last I saw him, the mysterious visitor was going this direction. Hang on a second, cat. Okay. Nothing else needed to be said. The three of you were off with Derek leading the way. Derek brought you to the beach as a trio. You made your way down the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in a comfortable silence. Within the sound of silence, in the restless dreams I walked alone. Okay, I'll stop. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of sun. He scuffled around, picking up the sand as he paced. It was true. He certainly seemed upset, but you didn't think he was sad, like you had originally pictured. With his erratic movements and scrunched up expression, he came off angry. You were curious about him, and what he was so mad about. Derek must have felt the same as you. He waved widely, calling out to the boy. Hey guy, over here! He had whipped around, an impressive scowl carving deeper onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong hostile energy still radiated from him.
What? What is it? What do you want?
The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. What's your name?
Jeremy. What's that? Was that it?
No.
No, I'm Derek.
That's Salem and Co.
We were just walking around and saw you. We wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in the neighborhood. Okay, if we're 13... Derek... Or not, sorry, not Derek. Jeremy must be... I
want to say 11 or 12. I think 12. Yeah. So, you know, it's cool to meet someone else here. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. Yeah. If steam could erupt from a person's ears, it would have happened then. They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course, I knew it. I fucking hate this brat. He calms down in, I don't remember if it's one of the DLCs or one of the free side stories. But that doesn't happen for a while, and here he's just kind of an annoying little brat. What?
My parents.
My parents! They're the ones who brought me! I didn't walk to this town. Can you not figure that out on your own?
Right.
Right, my dad brings me to Sunset Bird too when he has to come for work and all that stuff. It's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to come here for a real vacation. Probably either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time. A chore. My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to come see them. Ugh. If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too?
I guess.
Oh God, I hate this fucking kid. If I strangle him, will anybody report him to the authorities? Can I strangle him, please? Please? That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? No! Jeez. Is anybody else getting ankle biter energy from this brat? Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away. They should have gone by themselves since they cared so much and left me home. But I'm not allowed to be by myself. It makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know anything, and I'm the kid? We just said hello. You don't have to keep complaining to us. Eating your cereal this morning. You kept quiet. I'm gonna say, we just said hello. You don't have to keep complaining to us. Wow. Why did you decide to talk to me, huh? Did I ask for that? No. Did I want you to come over and start flapping your gums at me about dumb stuff? No. Now you're gonna whine and say this isn't what you wanted? Too bad! It's not my job to care! Can I strangle this kid now? Is that allowed? You turned to Cove, lowering your voice. The two of you aren't similar after all. Jeremy must have good hearing, though, because he caught the private exchange and scoffed.
Stupid.
Ugh, of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid. Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger. Maybe both. Oh, come on. Okay, so we have a ball. Don't listen to him. They're rude. Well, they are kind of sick. Say, apologize to Cove right now. You can't treat people like that. Cove smiled weakly.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry your eyebrows are so terrible. Okay.
Pressure time to reach as you patted Kove on the shoulder. Oh no, fuck this kid. With Balthus, you made a quick step forward. But you only went? No. Wait, no, I'm not gonna. I did.
Okay.
What am I gonna say? You crossed your arms over your chest. I want to go with something I didn't pick last time. I was gonna say, let's just pat Kove on the shoulder. You gave Kove a watery look in exchange for the silence of support, trying to talk the Rudge out of trying to talk to the Rudge. Trying to talk to the rude boy clearly wasn't going anywhere. Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Derek only parroted Derek's words in a nasally voice.
Wow, what is wrong with you?
Wah. This is dumb.
Jeremy stuck out of the sun and sulked away, throwing more sand everywhere as he went. You watched him go, hunched over until he became a speck in your vision. Balance regained in his wake. The three of you tried to process what just happened. I can't believe it.
What a mean kid.
What a rude little... Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of those earlier complaints, the new boy Jeremy was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. He followed and Kove did too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do.
Sucks.
I was hoping we could meet someone fun. Hang out, maybe. That's okay. That's okay. The three of us got each other. It's fine. My boy. It is fine. He shook his head. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. But you know what would really improve the day? What? He didn't respond. Instead, he used a hand to point. Right at the fruit arrangement you were still holding. You'd forgotten about it during the mini drama that unfolded. You had gotten used to the way. Glancing over to Kove, you noticed he was eyeing the fruit. He must want some too. No.
Okay.
He sighed, still glaring at the glistening fruit, but he didn't insist further. Yeah, it's a gift for the Pauws family after all. Yeah, it's a gift for the Pauws family after all. They should be the ones that get to have it. Sorry for asking.
It's fine.
Quiet once more descended upon your group. Kove turned towards the ocean, a peaceful expression. A peaceful expression on his face. Hey, you two remember the land before time? The fruit thing that fruit thing makes me think of it. The dinosaurs all like the leaves that were shaped like stars. Tree stars. Yeah. Chopping leaves looked so delicious when they did it. God, that is such an old cartoon. I love that movie. Me too. Derek didn't say anything further about dinosaurs or otherwise. For the next few minutes, the three of you watched the waves crash onto the shore. Hey, Salem. Yeah? The two of your eyes met casually. That was pretty cool. You said back at that guy.
Oh, thanks.
I was just saying what I thought. Derek chimed in while in high spirits. You totally owned him. I don't know what his parents say, but it's good at least somebody around. But it's good at least somebody's around to tell him what's what. God. This freaking kid. I love him so much. Yeah. Eric then leaned back on his arms. He contemplated the sky with a content sigh. So, are you both ready for summer break? Wait, are you both ready for summer break? Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Yeah! Cool on you. I wish I could say the same. It feels like there's a lot to plan for. What about you, Cove? Are you ready? I think that depends. Or you could say anything else. The light atmosphere is shattered.
Hey, Salem!
I didn't commit any war crimes! Yet. I mean... Meow? You glanced over your shoulder to see your sister. She strode closer and closer, appearing none too pleased.
I've been looking all over for you. Ma said you and Cove ran off with the thing Mr. Holden bought for us.
He leered over to you with arms folded.
So, where is it? It's fine, and right here.
Turned your body to face her and held up the bouquet, proving that it was in one piece. She inspected the fruit arrangement with a small frown. Alright, looks good. But if all you're doing is sitting around, you better take it back to the house now. It's not just for you. She grinned, glancing at Cove, who sat beside you. Even if you do have it in with a delivery boy, this was up to Mr. Holden. Cove sniffled a chuckle and gave you a conspiratorial look. Get going! This wasn't just because you hadn't done any. This wasn't okay just because you hadn't done anything yet. Just because I'm your younger sister doesn't mean you get to treat me like a baby. Oh no. I think I hear the mean key coming back. We better get out of here. Elizabeth blinked confused and looked around.
What?
Well, what kid? I don't see anyone. Derek didn't bother explaining. He just launched to his feet and ran off. Cove hopped up too and gladly took the opportunity to exit the situation. He followed after Derek, but he sent a look to you from over his shoulder. He turned to watch Elizabeth. She stared back, brow raised. Yeah, no, we're gonna bolt it and say, bye sis! Mwah! Love you! Without a word, you two got to your feet and bolted down the beach, unimpressed. Elizabeth rolled her eyes.
So immature.
She took her head as she walked towards the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. Meanwhile, the three of you made it back to the shoreline. Derek pumped his fist, grinning in triumph. Is this really a win? This might be a win for the two of you, but I live with her still. And I need water, hold on. We escaped and shall live to see another day. I just realized there's a little bit of black in the background and it's going to drive me nuts until I fix it. Stand by. What am I looking for? Hello, pizza. Welcome, welcome. How are you? I'm gonna say, for now, yeah, for now at least. I still have to face Elizabeth when I get home. You chuckle together, walking further down the beach side by side. You definitely wanted to stay outside a little while longer. You had gotten a bit. I'm alright. You've gotten a bit of taking it to. Yep. You had gotten a bit of talking to for running off with the gift twice, even though you hadn't even eaten any of it. But Elizabeth was also asked to be a bit more patient in the future. In the end, the four of you had split the bouquet and the event was fully resolved. After that, Derek joined you in the living room. He elected to stay outside for the extra time so that you could face the potential scolding from your family without him witnessing the embarrassment. Derek was a guy you could count on. The dust had settled from the prior events and your moms went back to their room, so Derek was just taking it easy until his dad arrived. Mr. Schwarz was meant to be there any minute to get Derek. Derek preferred not to sit and instead took long, lazy strides in a circle around the edge of the rug. Hands behind his back, and head angled towards the ceiling. Derek looked like he might have been puzzling out a crime. He probably made half a dozen rounds when a solid knock struck your front door. That stopped Derek in his tracks. Dad's here! The both of you stepped towards the door in unison. You arrived first since you had a half room head start. When you finally pulled it open, only a crack, someone zoomed in past you. Oh, I'm guessing that's Derek's little sister? Cousin? I don't know. She's adorable though. And the breakneck flash of a human was entirely recognizable. It was Derek's little bro. Oh, it was his brother, Nicholas Schwarz. He shouted triumphantly. He's so cute. I want to give him a hug. Derek, we're here. I want to hug this little bean! This precious baby! Oh my gosh! Why can't I have a cute little brother? He was only 6, the tiniest kid around. Hot on his heels came the middle Schwar's son, George. Nicholas, we have to stay in the car. We're going home. We're not here to play. He was 10, and his patience was being tested. The youngest one frantically shook his head. It made his hair even messier than it already was. God. He's so cute! I want to give him snuggles and head pats! Ah! Nicholas's hair was as wild and free as he was. Hair clips and his parents' minivan couldn't contain the energy. Which might have been surprising considering he loved cars enough to wear a shirt covered in them. But you knew Nicholas loved Derek even more. Oh my god! This little kid is so cute! Ah! Must resist the urge to squeeze cheeks. Staying right where he was inside your house. Staying right where he was inside your house at his even older brother's side, Nicholas gave Derek a hug. Ah! He's such a precious bean! Baby! Like he deserves some head pats. Pat, 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 pat.
I came to get you!
Derek bent down to scoop Nicholas in his arms and a fond squeeze, though he kept his face tilted to make eye contact with George.
Hey.
Hey, bros! God. The wholesomeness! Ah! It's so cute! Side by side, Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz trailed in. Oh, the mom is really pretty. She kind of looks... Cats, is it just me? Or does she look like an older version of Miranda? The resemblance between the parents and their children was clear. Derek and George were spinning images of their mother and father. George was even sometimes called Junior, while Nicholas was a mommy's boy. Yeah, I can see that.
Good evening.
A good evening, Salem. Hello. You'll have to forgive the three-ring circus visiting town. The boys just had to come. I was gonna say, I love seeing the boys. While Nicholas continued to cuddle with his favorite person. What you said got enough attention for his sweet smile to be sent your way. You're such a sweetheart. Hey, listen. We love seeing cute and wholesome family dynamics here on the Kitten Pauws channel. We need cute and wholesomeness in this world. There's too much depression going on.
Goodbye.
But we can't stay. Thank you for letting Dara visit and tell your mothers I said hello.
Okay. Come on, boys. All 4 of you now. Let's get the Pauws family their house back. Coming.
Yes, Mom.
Half of the group trotted forward, only a word. They went past Mrs. Schwartz, and out the door. She watched them go before surveying the situation with the most troublesome one. Nicholas was bouncing around Derek as if he hadn't heard his parents. Derek and his mom looked with identical expressions of exhaustion, tingled affection. When an opportunity opened up between hops, Derek carefully took a hold of Nicholas's small hand. Let's go to the car, Nico. You can sit next to me. Thrilled by the promise, Nicholas let out another cheer.
Yeah, let's go to the car! This precious bean!
Mrs. Schwartz left it there, trusting her eldest, and went to join Mr. Schwartz and George. Nicholas gripped Derek's black wristband with his free hand, stretching it outwards in his eager attempt to lead his bigger brother along. This kitten is so adorable. Derek stumbled forward with a chuckle, mostly to protect his band from being pulled too far, rather than Nicholas actually having the strength to move him. But he made sure not to forget you. Derek says goodbye from over his shoulder.
Bye, gal.
I'm just gonna say goodnight. After their prompt entrance and equally quick exit, the whole Schwartz family was on their way home. You, however, didn't have anywhere to go. It was late enough that the rest of the day was spent in your own house. That was a while ago now. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. Your fingers drummed on the surface as you waited. Your gaze trained on the phone. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin Leandro. You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Your uncle and Aunt Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year. For big occasions. A while back, they moved and were closer to you than ever before. You now hung out regularly. With school being out, you're positive she's gonna want to come over a lot. The two of you were the same age and got along well. She used to be really fond of Elizabeth too, but now that your sister had become allergic to interaction with her own family, it tended to just be you and Lee who spent time together. I'm gonna say she was your only friend who was a girl. You weren't really all that close with any other girls your age. But you didn't have a lot of other friends either, I'm gonna say. Ma always said that quality was more important than quantity. When Elizabeth bemoaned your small social circle, you weren't sure how friendship quality was judged, but nevertheless, you thought what you had with Lee was good. Then the small, shrill ringtone announced an incoming call. You jumped before grabbing the receiver and pressing it to your ear. I'm gonna say, Lee, finally! Hi! Sorry about the wait, Salem. It took forever to get the phone away from my mom. Oh God, I love her. That's okay. There was static on the end, as if Lee was shifting wherever she was. So, can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Hi, baby boy. Oh, my little big kitty.
Now we don't have to do any of that boring stuff, and we get to hang out whenever we want. Speaking of hanging out, Lee, can you wait a second? Let me just head to my room.
Oh, yeah.
You got up from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless, so you didn't have to worry about any cords tying you down. Your mom's had a rule about not moving the phone unless a call was in progress, which is why you'd been sat by its cradle waiting for Lee to call. You were the only person here. If anyone could take the phone anywhere at any time, it was an even bigger hassle. You could easily imagine the receiver having a new forever home in Elizabeth's locked room. But now that Lee called, it was okay for you to go upstairs to your bedroom and talk to her. You jogged up the stairs, taking two at a time, smiling. After you arrived, you shut your bedroom door firmly behind you. Took a seat on your bed.
Alright, I'm here.
Cool.
Cool. Hey, did you know the girl down the street from Mia has her own phone now? A cell phone. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything. Wow, really?
The thought of someone having a phone that was all their own seemed unbelievable to you.
Right? I wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own phone until I'm more grown up.
Virus! Hello! Welcome! How are you?
I wish they changed their mind. We could call each other every single day, and no one would be able to stop us. How great would that be? Really great. We would even stay up late talking about whatever we want.
Lee sighed thoughtfully into the receiver.
At least they said I could have it someday. I can't wait.
I'm alright. I'm doing pretty good. She sighed dramatically.
I bet I'm not gonna get one until I'm all the way in college.
Squeezing the phone between your shoulder and your ear, you puffed up your pillows and made yourself more comfy. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over and you would have to choose whether or not to go to college. School was such a big part of your life right now. Studying didn't come easy to you, even though you tried hard. You worked about as hard as most students got pretty average results. You didn't bother in school. In class and game easy, you walked hard. Studying didn't come easy to you, though you tried hard. You knew it was important, and you wanted to do well. Frustratingly even, your best didn't seem to quiver being good enough. You didn't know how hard it could be. You didn't know how it could be harder. You felt a lot of pressure. You hoped to do just as well this year, but you were confident your grades would remain great. I'm gonna say we have no plans to getting excellent scores this time around. It wasn't something that was important to you.
Yeah.
You tried to sound engaged, but your mind decided to go back to school despite the season. We knew you too well to be fooled.
You sound so spacey. What's up?
Just thinking about school. Lee groaned.
Are you thinking about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer? That's what I'm doing.
Looking forward to going back. Let's make a petition for more vacation time. It's awful. I hate going. Come on. Is that you scary anything about? Oh, no, for more. I want more vacation time.
Yeah, everybody in class would sign it. Maybe some of the teachers too.
Yeah, right? She'd just be like, alright, our jobs are done. We don't have to deal with those pesky kids anymore. You're so cute, Angel.
So I guess school isn't all the way bad. You can do some good things there. You can just do more when school's out.
Gym is pretty great. I hated gym. I'm not athletic. Learning can be cool. Jesus, wait, blah blah blah. The cafeteria lunches could be better than they had any right to be. There's nothing good about my school. I'm gonna say learning things can be cool. I just wish everyone did okay with how they taught the things, not just some people. I wish everyone did okay with how they taught the things, not just some people.
Me too.
It's pretty good. Easy way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood. If I didn't go to school, I'd never meet anybody new. No one really comes here.
Uh-huh.
But that was all. That's pretty much everything that's good about school.
Okay. Point taken. Now, I declare the topic of school is officially closed.
We have to talk about summer first before we start applying the rest of our lives.
I've got some plans already.
Like?
I'm gonna visit my cousin.
You chuckled, of course.
What's something you want to do? The first thing that comes to your head.
Spend time with people. I've got some new recipes reading. I'm gonna catch up on some TV. Oh!
Probably I'll spend some time at the beach. Heck yeah. I could have guessed that one.
Lean back on your bed, sitting in as you continue chatting with your friend. Even though it hadn't been that long since you saw her, and you'd been seeing her soon, you found plenty to talk about. For one, the events of the day, you sat up straighter. I was with Cove and Derek today, and we met a new kid.
Like at your neighborhood?
Mm-hmm. His parents are visiting families, so it sounds like he'll be around for a little while. I don't know how long. What was he like? Creepy? You know, he wasn't creepy. He was just an ass. Mean. He kept snapping when we were all trying to talk to him. He was just being rude to everyone. But especially Cove. He was awful. I don't think I want to meet him. No, you don't, cuz. You really don't. You want a boy to stay... You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Your cousin was pretty popular with the boys who knew her. She seemed happy enough to have them around until they started to annoy her. Who are you to talk? Cove and Derek are always around. They're both boys, you know. Touché. The one who invites them. Invites them. They show up in there. That's true. We laughed at your affirmation, deeply amused. After a moment, you chuckled along with her. There's a stomping noise approaching your room, heralding the arrival of your irritated older sister. She flung the door open. A frown etched her face.
Come on.
How long are you gonna hog the phone? Glancing at your watch, you realized that your quick call had gone on much longer than anticipated. Elizabeth held out her hand. The other one lodged on her hip. She noticed the realization on your face. Time's up! Well, okay, I get it. that's how you say goodbye to Lee. Lee, I have to go now.
Bye.
Okay, see you soon. Tell Elizabeth and your moms I said hi too.
You barely pressed the end button when Elizabeth whisked the handset from your fingers and began dialing someone new as she strode out of the room. Your mom's voice called from downstairs. Hey, has anyone seen the phone? I'm using it. With that, she shut your door behind you. With that, she shut your door behind you. Silence was left in the wake. That was the way to end your first day of summer break. Sometime later, it had gotten dark outside, and you laid in bed wide awake. Your window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly. You flinched over at it with furrowed brows. From your vantage point, you only saw the moon and an open sky. You were... I'm just gonna say confused. Knowing me, I'd be too tired. They would be scared. I would just be like, what the fuck is happening? What had caused that noise? Frowning, you sat up and moved closer to the window. You might as well find the reason behind the disturbance. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. Cove? You squinted. Yep, Cove was right outside your window. Your house was very angular, and some parts stuck out further than others, so theoretically wouldn't have been hard to climb around on. Still, just because somebody could didn't mean you expected it to ever happen. To his credit, Cove was doing fine. His feet were braced against the section of the wall jutted out, his arms flexing with the effort to keep him upright. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. You hurriedly opened the window. Cove climbed over the ledge, releasing a breath once he was safely inside.
Hey.
Hi, Salem. What are you doing? What's up, Romeo? Amazing! My dreams have come true! I'm gonna say, what's up, Romeo? I needed to talk to you and I couldn't wait until tomorrow. If I rang the doorbell, I know your moms would have answered and they'd just make me go home. I didn't really want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Well, besides with you, I mean. But that's why I did that. As unexpected as this was, you were touched. Cove felt like he could tell you what's wrong. What was wrong. I might have tried calling or something, except my dad was on the phone. Cove suddenly looked very cross. Dad, he was talking to my mom. Still is, probably. You raised your eyebrows. Cove had eavesdropped on his parents' phone conversation? I mean, I probably would have done that too. I'm not even gonna lie to him. No, you're good. I would have done that too. Cove looked relieved. A small smile played on his lips. Yeah, it's hard not to spy at least a little. It was about me. Are you going to stay with your mom for a little while again? Every year, Cove was sent off with his mom for a few weeks. When it happened varied. Sometimes he would go during winter break, but usually he went during the summer. My body is not facing the way I want it to. There we go. Better. Even when it was hard news. Even though it was hard news when you found out he was leaving and you missed seeing him those 2 weeks, you understood. To your surprise, however, he shook his head. That's what I thought too, but no, that's not what they were saying. My dad asked my mom not to have me leave this year. He said she could come stay with us here. Oh god. And this time I was not prepared to mute my mic. Sorry guys. waited for him to continue. It didn't. The conversation abruptly dropped off. You couldn't help but stare at Cove. There was a complicated mix of expressions on his face. Is she gonna do that? Yeah. She told him she'd come. I know she's coming soon before school starts.
Oh.
You had heard Cove talk about his mom a lot over the years. He'd tell you about past memories or what happened while he was visiting her. Still, it was one thing to hear about someone and another to actually meet them. Very soon, you're going to see Cove's mom in person. You were taken aback by the news, so you could only imagine how Cove felt. You looked over at him. He was pacing across your room, his features painted with dread. Or they barely stay in the room long enough to have lunch. Now we're gonna be all together again. The three of us, after all this time? Just for a few weeks? I know I should probably be happy. They can talk to each other. I know I should probably be happy they can talk to each other now. I'm still not. I'm just confused and freaked out. And now I feel really bad for feeling this way. Salem! It's so... His fist tightened, and his eyes became misty. I shouldn't keep getting like this. It's been a long time already, and I'm not a little kid. Though he wouldn't meet your eyes, you knew he was waiting for you to say something. He was like, we can deal with this. Cove's expression cleared a little. Thanks. I'm actually really glad I came over to see you. A momentary silence fell over the two of you. You marveled at how the day started. You had woken up eager for summer vacation, but now things seemed crazy. The mini debacle with Mr. Holden's gift, the newest addition to the neighborhood being so rude, and that wasn't enough. Now Cove's mom would be living with Cove and his dad again. Their whole life was kind of like that, it seemed. Complicated and hard and different. Why couldn't things just get better with time? Salem? The sound of your name said quietly, pulsy from your thought. Cove gazed at you, concerned.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I get it. At least I think I do. Cove grinned reassuringly. It was small and delicate, but you knew it was genuine. Yet, he had come here conflicted and upset, only to end up worrying about you. He was a really great friend. You know, I think I don't want to talk about anymore about this. He looked away, his lips thinning into a line, and rubbed at his arm. But I kind of don't want to go back home either. Could I stay a little longer? Just doing something else? He appeared equal parts hopeful and vulnerable. You turn him away. I got a flashlight and some cards. Are you in? You waggled your eyebrows, already excited about the prospect. Cove pricked up at your response, smile appearing on his face. He immediately took a seat on your bed, not afraid to get comfortable in your room. You felt a little better at the sight somehow. You still had a lot of worries, but you were glad he was here. And not just tonight. You were glad he came into your life in the first place. That was a change you'd never want to undo. You would have thought Cove would mean so much to you. You certainly hadn't in the beginning. You had kept your distance, and so had he. Now you considered him to be one of your closest friends. You joined Cove on your bed, taking a seat across from him. He smiled at you again. You could tell this time it was half-hearted. He was still easy to read. Though he didn't want to talk about his mom and dad, he must be thinking about what happened and what's about to happen. Can we give him head pats? Well, I'm gonna. No, we cannot. Okay, we'll just pat him on this back. Wait. Nah, we'll give him huggies. He deserves huggies. You moved closer and wrapped your arms around him as much as you could. It wasn't much, but you hoped the contact helped even a little. Cove froze up, startled. After a moment, his arms came up and he returned your hug. The two of you remained like that for some time. He might have mumbled something to you, but it was too quiet to tell what it was. When you pulled back, his expression had softened into something more natural. Conversation was stilted, and broken often by silence at first. Then the both of you were able to get into your casual candor. As your secret hangout session stretched on, you thought you truly wanted to keep having moments like this with him. You hoped a day would never come when life decided that the two of you would have to part ways, and you knew Cove felt the same. Okay, I'm gonna save here. Alright. Put the game. Yeah. And. Bop, 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 bop. Ah! No, no, no! Bop, 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 bop. 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 Oops. Oops-a-doodle. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream this evening. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys did too. Yeah. If you are watching this as a VOD, be sure to like and subscribe. If you like what you see on my channel and want to help support it, I have a link to my stream elements. I think. Is it Stream Elements? I don't remember now. Yeah, to my Stream Elements. If you would like to financially support me, please do not feel pressured to. You do not have to. Feel free to follow me on social media. I am on Twitter and Tumblr. And if you ever want to send me gifts in the future, there's a link to my throne. And if you ever catch me streaming and you want to send me snackies, I have a treat stream that you can use to surprise your favorite Scottish fold. So that's it for the stream, and I shall see you all very, very soon. Have a good night or day, wherever it is for you, and I shall see you all next time. Bye bye!